Good morning and welcome to our Facebook Live this morning. My name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm based in the market town of Brackley, which is in Northamptonshire in the UK. Thank you for joining me on this lovely Monday morning. It's quite nice and bright here for us, and I hope everybody had a nice weekend. We're going to be using this Peaceful Cabin stamp set this week. It's a fabulous, distinctive stamp set, makes really quick and easy Christmas cards. You don't have to do any colouring in if you don't wish. You can literally just stamp and go. Morning Jeanette, morning Catherine, and hi Lenny. So just so that you know, while I remember, we have a sale starting this evening. It runs for 3 days, so effectively the 16th. Oh, well, that is tonight, isn't it? Oh dear. 17th and 18th. Oh dear. It's called a seasonal sale, and it's based on the annual catalogue, and it's a blanket sale, which I always like because it's so less confusing for everybody. Oh, thank you, Lynn. It is. You star. I had the microphone by my computer all weekend for our on stage event. That's better. Morning, Joanne. So I'm hoping that's clearer. Thank you so much, Lynn. So we have a sale starting this evening. It runs to the evening of the 18th, and it's a blanket sale. So it's 10% off all our standard cardstock, 15% off all our individual ink pads. So this is all of the classic ink pads, so not things like Stays On or Versamark, but all the Stampin' Up individual inks, and then 20% off all of the individual dies in the annual catalogue. So I'll be listing my top recommendations. So for example, I use this die a lot. This is from the Stitch So Sweetly, and it has a series of layering dies with stitching and scallops. So I will pop up a post a bit later with my recommendation for dies, but if you've got your eye on any of those, then 20% off the dies is not to be missed. 15% off the ink pad, so if you've got a couple of missing colours, then that would be a good time to stock up with those. And then 10% off cardstock, so Whisper White, Basic White, our basic, basically all of the colours that we have, you can get 10% off. So I will pop up the prices, because the prices are the same for obviously for the ink pads and the cardstock, and then obviously the dies themselves will vary according to which die set you're after. Morning Kerry, or rather evening Kerry. Yes, thanks Catherine. So yes, I have my microphone over by my computer. So today we're going to be featuring this fab stamp set. It's called Peaceful Cabin, as you can see, and it features a cabin, some trees. So these 3 trees are actually all on one stamp. You could, if you wanted to, cut these apart, but there is a die set that goes with this that cuts around the edges of the trees. It's really stunning, and I'll be using that during the week. There's also some fabulous papers, and this was one of the options for my class in a box for October, which includes the papers and a whole series of dies and dies that cut out the cabin. I do actually have one spare set. I miscalculated and created an extra set of Christmas. So if anybody's interested in the Christmas class in a box for October, I have one set ready to go which I can pop in the post today, and you get access to all the videos and everything. So, Peaceful Cabin, we have the cabin, as you can see. We have this little fence, we have a little fox, snowflakes, a little bit of smudge here, which could be clouds or it could be under the fox. And then we have some really nice sentiments, both in the style and also the wording. So we've got "Your kindness makes the world a more beautiful place to be." This one I like. "May you enjoy the peace of this beautiful season." And then we've got "Thank you, for you, and wishing you the best." So these sentiments would actually work even for non-Christmas cards. Okay, so I'm going to keep it really simple today and just stamp onto some of our basic white card and place it onto a basic white base card. So all just white today. And because all of the shading is done for you, you could stamp this in Soft Suede. I think you could stamp it in basic grey. You could stamp it in Smoky Slate. So I think I'm going to do, I might try Smoky Slate first and see how we get on. And the little fox you could stamp in pumpkin pie, for example, or Cajun craze would also work. Or you could stamp the little fox in a grey as well. And then the trees, you could get away with a grey or a green. So I've got a couple of greens. I've got Soft Succulent, which is my current favourite, and Shaded Spruce. And then I've got Smoky Slate, Basic Grey, and Soft Suede to choose from. So I haven't quite decided what colour I'm going to use. But if you're making Christmas cards, you could literally just use one grey, I reckon, because you could even have the trees as grey. So maybe we'll do that to start with, just do one completely grey. So let's see how we get on. So I've got some basic white thin card for stamping, and I've got some basic white thick card for my card layer. And I've taken an A4 sheet, scored it in half at 14.85 so that we end up with a landscape folded card. And there's my bone folder. And a lot of people I know worry about having cards that open at the top for a landscape, so because sometimes the cards can sort of splay out. So if that's a problem for you, then just score it along that long side and then you've got the perfect portrait card. So I hope everybody had a nice weekend. I had a very busy weekend with our online convention, but it was really good fun. Some really fun elements, some great new products coming up that you'll love. So I will be sharing those in due course. Okay, so I'm just trying to think of positioning here. Morning, Carol. I hope you're well. So I could actually have the trees up the top here and the cabin, or have the trees off the bottom and have the cabin there. I think I might try that. So let's grab some blocks. I might need two larger ones for this. Excuse me. So there's that one. Let me grab another large one. So I know what everybody got up to over the weekend. I know quite a few people were away and catching up with friends and family, so that's always good. Let's try Smoky Slate. Oh, excellent, Linda, thank you. It's such a nice set, and the dies and everything are stunning. But we're just going to do a basic card today that anybody could recreate with a minimum supplies. That's the good thing about this. So because it's quite a large stamp, I'm going to ink it up, taking the ink pad to the stamp. And you always want to have one of your 2 items on the table. You don't want to be doing them up in the air. That's where it's easy to get over inked or missing sections. So in this case, I'm taking the ink pad to the stamp. Okay. Those favour boxes, Linda, were absolutely amazing. I'm glad you're only making 12. I'm sure that was enough, but there we go. So look at the detail in that. It's probably not going to come up in the camera as well, obviously, as in person. These things never do, but the distinctive nature of the stamp fills in that detail for you. So this is perfect for anybody who just doesn't like colouring, basically. Okay, and actually I'm thinking I might put these trees here and put one down there. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to ink up these 2 to start with. If you had a lot of these to do, oh, I beg your pardon, Joanne, I've stamped this in Smoky Slate, so the lighter of our greys. Yes, I know the feeling, Linda. Actually, what I might do is have these trees here, so they're sort of on the same line as the cabin. Pleasure, Joanne. Thanks for joining us. Is this the first time you've joined us, or maybe the first time you've commented? Either way, it's lovely to have you here. And then I'm going to pop another tree, I think, this single tree down here. Just to do a little bit of framing. There we go. So I think we could introduce a little bit of this fence here, or maybe going across. And I do want to sort of put link these all together as well. So what I might do is have this fence sort of joining here in the front of these trees, and I am going to stick to just this one colour for this card. Yes, the design takes forever, doesn't it? Especially where you've got something, you know, that you've got to do multiples of, for starters, and obviously for your grandson. Okay, so I've just got that in front of the trees. Okay, and what I might do is just have a little bit of a fence on that side as well. Sorry about the paint on my fingers. I was helping my daughter with her painting of her bedroom. Now, what I might do, if I can find a blending pen, So our blender pen is designed to pick up ink and move it across the paper. So it's like a clear Stampin' Up marker. Oh, bless you, Joanne. Well, welcome. Do let us know whereabouts you are, whether you're in the UK or anywhere else, as we have usually have our Australian contingent with us this evening, this morning I should say. So I'm just going to blend this out a little bit. It is, Linda, it's funny, you can spend hours on some things and then other things just come together. And there's no, I find the same when I'm designing for class, exactly the same. Okay, I'm just going to pick up a little bit more of this ink because I want to make that fence a little bit darker, because it's in front of those trees. So I've just dipped it into that Smoky Slate ink pad. I'm just adding it on here, like so. There we go. Now, as I say, there are dies and stunning papers to go with this, but I think this works as a great Christmas stamp set on its own. Oh, East Yorks, perfect. Well, I hope you've got nice weather up in East Yorkshire. Okay, so I've got my cabin, I've got my trees. I'm going to add a sentiment in here, and I might add the little fox. What do you think? So I'm going to use, I quite like this one, your kindness makes the world a beautiful place to be, because it's going to fit in nicely with my landscape card. And I have got some of these little little snowflakes that I might add in. Oh, dull and grey. Oh, bless you. Oh, okay. Not far from Goole. My sister used to live in Goole until she moved down to Somerset. Well, she lived in Rawcliffe, if you know that, just outside of Goole. Okay. So in fact, with this sentiment, this could be a non-Christmas card, just a winter design of card. It doesn't have to be Christmas at all. Just trying that out. So as I say, just a single ink pad. Oh, that's funny, isn't it, Joanne? There you go. There we are. And I'm not sure I'm going to add the snow to this one. I think I'm going to leave it as is. But I might. It is a small world, indeed it is. Add. Am I going to add a few more? Might just add that other little tree. In there. There we go. So all I'm going to do is mount that straight onto my card. Let's put the lid on here. And layer that up like so. Just going to use I'm going to use dimensionals. No, I'm just going to put this one flat, I think, using our seal. There we go. There there we are. So apart from the fact I stamped this tree twice, you could have this preloaded on your Stamparatus, which is our stamp positioning tool. So you could have the cabin, you could have the fence. Obviously you can't have the fence in two places on the same stamping, but you could have the cabin, the fence, the trees, and the sentiment, and then just go back and add these trees if you wanted to. And you could add some Wink of Stella, which is our glitter pen, just to add a little bit of sparkle to that if you wanted to, but I quite like that in its own right. So what I'm going to do now is something similar, but I'm going to add in some other colours. So I'm going to make the trees will actually be green, and I'm going to add the little fox as well. So I hope you like that one. Nice and simple, especially for a Monday morning. Okay, so I'll say that could be a completely non-Christmas card if you wanted it to be. I'll leave that there, hope you can see. Seems to have got things encroaching from either side, for which I apologise. It would have went lovely with a frame. Yes, monochrome is, you know, it just suits this particular design, I think, and I do like to do monochrome. But let's step this up with a little bit of colour this time. But I might keep the layout similar. I could swap this round and have the cabin over here, but I feel it needs to go on the left hand side. I'm going to stick this one, actually, no, let's make this not necessarily a snow scene. So I'm going to stamp the cabin this time in Soft Suede. Oh, Joanne has a few holidays off. Excellent. Well, that's good. We like to hear that. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this in Soft Suede. Now, bear in mind, this is a distinctive stamp. So you do need an ink pad that's not too inky, otherwise it will flood the stamp. And if you find your ink pad is flooding the stamp, then all you need to do is take a bone folder or the edge of a block and just push the ink to one side for your stamping. It will settle itself back again, but it just means there's not so much ink in one place. Oh, bless you. It's difficult if you're working, isn't it, to make time for your cards. I presume this is Christmas cards, is it, Joanne? Okay, so I've got the same thing, just a single piece of basic white, and I've cut this to 14.35 by 10 centimetres, just so I've got a small border. I could take this one a little bit further down and add a panel behind. Actually, let's do that, just so we've got a contrast between a monochrome and a coloured panel. So I'm just going to cut this down by 0.5 centimetre. So this will be 9.5. And then 13.85. And this way I can put a coloured layer behind. So I inked this up with Soft Suede. So what I might do is actually keep this scene the same and just do it in colour and see, and then you can vote and let me know which one you prefer. When I say the same, I mean it will be similar because unless you're using the Stamparatus, no two cards will ever be the same. Okay, so that's just so pretty, isn't it? Look at the detail in that. Right, let's do trees next. So let me know which colour you think. Soft Succulent or Shaded Spruce for my trees. And while you're deliberating on that, let me move that out of the way. I'm just going to grab a cleaning cloth which is at the bottom of my bag, ready for coffee and card. Kerry says, so all good. I thought you were all going to go for shaded spruce. Oh, but Soft Succulent is my favourite, so thank you for that. All right, let's just bring this in. So I'm just using our Simply chamois to clean that off, just with it's just got some water on it. Don't need anything else. If you have any of our stamping mist, which smells divine, then you could use that, but the chamois only needs water with it. So we're going Soft Succulent. Okay, so Soft Succulent is one of the new in colours. It has Evening Evergreen. I don't know if you've seen the in colours, Joanne. So these come out every... It's alright, look at my dog making... trying to move my bag so she can lie on it. Every July. So we have Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen, which go together so well. Let me just show you those two. And in fact, they featured on my class in a box for this month. Those two. Okay. Oh, the other one. Oh, Shaded Spruce. So, I mean, that is quite simple. Well, no. Now you look at it, I would have said that this was quite close to Evening Evergreen, but now I look at it like that. It's nothing like it, is it? And I know the colour doesn't really transfer on your screens either, because on my screen that looks nearly brown or black. Okay, so Soft Succulent it is. Okay, I'm going to ink these up again and again, taking the ink pad to the stamps. And I know I didn't need to do that extra one, but I might bring these trees a little bit further up. So, but I want the full tree in, so just deliberating where that should go. There we are. I'm not too worried that that's going to go off the top. There we go. And I think I'm going to stamp that again. Just do that end one here. So it's going off as part of the scene. There we go. That's that one. And then I'm going to add some trees here in the bottom left, as I did before. Just frames it really nicely, doesn't it? So probably only need that one on the right hand side, to be honest. Yes. So as I say, you could cut this off and have 2 and 1, and what I would do is, instead of trying to tidy up the stamp, and my label on there is a bit wonky, you might have noticed, I would leave the raw cut edge so you could put the stamps back together and run it as a 3. And in fact, I might do that later in the week, not going to do it today. Let's put this one here. Like so. And just put one next to it. There we go. And that one there. Okay, so just building up that scene. Alright, so I'm not going to use the snowflakes because it's not necessarily, although it's a wintry scene, obviously this is designed to be snow and everything, but it doesn't need to be all out. So let's add a bit of that fencing again. it rather covered in ink pads here. And what I might do is use a darker brown for the fencing. So I might use Early Espresso. So a darker brown for them to stand out in front of those trees. I suspect my Early Espresso isn't particularly dark. Okay, it will do the job. Hi Sandra, it's such a nice set, isn't it? I saw you done some crafting with that. Okay, I do want this to sit in front of those trees. Looking at that thinking, that doesn't look right. That's because I had it upside down. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, you should have said maybe somebody was going to be polite. And then again, maybe not. Oh, that was funny. I couldn't work out why it looked so odd. Okay, going to do the same thing with my blender pen. Oh, doesn't need to be quite that dark. So you can just pick up some ink and then move it on your paper until you've got the tone that you want. Glasses are coming off so I can see what I'm doing. And the reason I want to fill this in is because with the so it's designed to look obviously like snow, but it makes it slightly transparent in front of those trees. And obviously this is in front of those trees, so I want it to be a bit darker. There we go. If I just bring that up, you can see that detail. And I'm going to do the same and put the fence up here the right way around. Oh, I could put it from here. There we go. So just off the edge, nothing more than that. And again, just blending that in. So these blender pens you buy as a pack of 3, and it's just like clear, it's almost like a glycerin inside, and you can use it to move the colour around, which is what I'm going to do with the green. So to clean these off, you just need to run it until the ink runs clear. I'm going to use the other side. And then with this one, I'm just going to run this over the tree. Just to blend in a little bit of that colour. I might pick up a little bit of it as well. So this is completely different to our blends pens, which are alcohol based and are obviously coloured. This is a clear ink. So just filling that in, so you can see hopefully the difference between that and those there. There we go. So Sandra's got a week off this week from work, so I know she's planning to do some crafting. we go. Hope she might join us at Coffee and Cards, Sandra. We're in Toaster this afternoon if you fancy it, and obviously Brackley on Friday. Okay, so bringing in that colour there and just a little bit there. I'm not adding a huge amount, but just enough to blend it in so it's all green, as opposed to looking like it's you know, completely snowy. And I can do the same with a bit of the cabin. Now, I don't want to do too much because the detail of this stamp does all the work for you, but just going to add in a little bit more shading, like so. Excellent. That would be lovely to see you. So hummingbirds, 3 till 4. Okay. Now I'm thinking this has got snow on it, but you could just take a little bit of colour and make that a roof, couldn't you? I'm just going to blend this out as well a little bit. Connect this up. There we go. Yes, Carol comes on a Friday, and Scylla usually does as well. I'm trying to think of who else you know that would be there. So I'm just colouring this in to just make it less snowy. Simple as. Okay. Need to find the top for this, which I'd taken off somewhere. Okay, I will find it. Right, let's add our little fox in. So there's my block. Here's the fox. I think I'm going to stamp that in pumpkin pie, but to be honest, any of the orange colours you could use. There we go. There's pumpkin pie. Actually, that's not the best colour for him. It's a bit patchy. Okay, what I might do then is stamp him in Soft Suede, but add a little bit of pumpkin pie with a pen, because it was too orange. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, that will work better. Let's have him over here. Very indecisive today. Let's have him down here perhaps. Hi Michelle. Hope you had a nice weekend. There we go. There he is. our little fox. And then I'm going to use, let's see, I need to grab a pen. So I've got a light pumpkin pie. That will do nicely. So just dotting that in with a little bit of pumpkin pie. And I've got a little bit of dark crumb cake that I'm going to add, because they have the sort of there we go. Oh, bless you, Diana. Lovely to see you on here, Diana. Okay, so there we go. So I've got my little fox on there. Now, I'm just wondering whether to use a blending brush and just soften this whole panel here, which is complete contrast to this, which is all monochrome. So I think I could use a little bit of green or a little bit of brown. Hello, Tracy. Thanks everybody for joining me today. I'm going to use a little bit of brown, I think. That's for Michelle. So she is at work. So she's watching, but she can't have the audio on. Bless her. So just using our blending brush, and I'm just going to bring in a little bit. So I'm dipping it in Soft Suede. Just want to take the starkness off this here. There we go. We are. Now, I don't think you can see much of that. I can see it, but I don't think the camera picks up the subtlety of that. Let me just add a little bit more in here at the edges, maybe. You'll see that a bit better, I think. There we go. Go, and I'm going to introduce a little bit of blue for the sky as well. Must remember to put these back for coffee and card. Otherwise they'll be missing. So this is my generic blue. It usually has balmy blue on it, the light blue. And there's usually just enough to make that the blue sky behind. If you can see that really. Maybe. There we go. So although there is a little bit of snow still on that cabin, we've changed the scene, and hope you like it. Let me know which one you prefer. There we go. As I say, this stamp set has some fabulous dies that not only cut out the cabin along there, but cut out a separate cabin in detail. And even the fox running along the edge. Okay, just trying to put a little bit of sky in there where that area is. There we go. That's it. Okay, right. It's got to go back in my pot for coffee and card. Okay, and the only thing I haven't used the snowflakes, but I wonder if I might use this little patch here. And then I'm going to do going to do For You, I think, on this one. I want to stick to just this stamp set, not introducing anything else. And I want to see what this looks like. Okay, so it's a very light bit of shading. So I'm using Soft Suede and then stamping off. Oh, it makes quite a good bit of ground or shadow. Okay, I don't know if you can see that on there. You could also use that for clouds, that'd be really effective. Okay, so I think we're nearly there. A male birthday, yeah, that's a good idea actually. You could use that for a male birthday, couldn't you? But yes, definitely that one for Christmas. This obviously would work for Christmas. I've, you know, taken out some of the snow detail. So it just depends on your style really and what you like to do. So I'm going to layer this probably onto a piece of soft succulent. It's going to go onto soft succulent and then onto white. That makes it quite nice and warm. I could do it onto Soft Suede or Espresso, but I think I'm going to stick with the soft succulent. So let me just cut that piece down and we're good to go. Thank you, Joanne. So I'm glad you're able to join us on your holidays. So I always cut that into a card size first, and then this one is going to be 14.35 by 10, just so I've got half a centimetre in total, so about a couple of millimeters around. Obviously you could make that much larger if you wanted to, if you prefer a bigger margin. Okay, that's going to fit onto there. Let's stamp. Actually, I might leave the sentiments, and as you say, you can make that into a birthday card, or I could do wishing you the best, or for you. I'm going to leave it because I'm undecided. So just use my seal. So coffee and card this afternoon in toaster. And the cards that we made were the ones that I did online last week. If anybody wants to see them, I will dig them out. There we go. So just keeping this to a single layer without any dimensionals, was what I meant, sorry. It is Monday. Not quite in the groove after a long weekend. There we go. And I think I'm going to add some trees on the inside of this. And obviously you could do that with the envelope as well. So you've got those there, just to mimic the front really, and I might do the same with this one as well. And there we go. So we'll be back here tomorrow, Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the evening. Go. So this one I did literally in, you could do that one in 5 minutes flat. Thank you, Kerry. And obviously a bit longer here for the colouring, and also me choosing the various bits and pieces. There we go. So that's the inside of this one here, like that. And then the coloured version with the fox in more detail. Okay, so I hope you like those. And I found the top. That's what I was looking for. Just clean that off. Otherwise it will be there for next time. So you get a pack of 3 and they're all double-ended. So effectively you've got 6 nibs to play with. So sorry about the mess underneath there. Let's cover that up. There we go. So our finished cards. Let me know which one you prefer. I know which one I prefer. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Jeanette. And yes, thank you for your kind words. So the weekend was a celebration weekend for demonstrators, and we get to see all the new products. Don't forget that there is a sale on which starts this evening, and I will post this on my Facebook page here shortly, which is starting tonight until the evening of the 18th. We have 10% off cardstock, 15% off individual Stampin' Up ink pads, and 20% off stamping dies. And all of those are from the annual catalogue. Oh, hi, Kay. Monochrome. Yeah, I think I have to say, I think I like that one too. And for speed, that's definitely the one to choose. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. I will post details of that, and also that will come out by email. Thanks to everybody who ordered my class in a box or card classes for this month. Carol, could you let me know if you want Christmas or non-Christmas, please? That would be useful. So thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Don't work too hard. For those of you that are on holiday, enjoy your holidays. And I'll be catching up with you tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Thank you so much. Bye for now.